Alright, it's October 18th, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 4. So we're just jumping right in. We're not even meeting in front of the lobby. And we're going up against Edgy Boy!
Court is in session for the trial of Mr. Willpowers.
Right.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Very well. Mr. Edwards, your opening statement, please. The prosecution will show to the court at 2:30 p.m. on October 15th. The defendant, Mr. Willpowers, killed fellow actor Jack Hammer in Studio 1 of Global Studios.
Only an idiot would think that, but go on!
The f*** you say, Wright?
I know what I said! What?
It is impossible for anyone else to have committed this heinous crime.
The f*** you mean nuh-uh? The f*** you mean I'll stay updated. You.
The evidence presented during the trial will all point to this fact.
Sure.
I see. Very well, I would like to move on to some testimony.
Are you sure Vicky's the murderer? Because she's a child? That's funny. I at least like to know who I'm killing. Moving along.
Mr. Edwards, the prosecution may call its first witness. Very well, I call a most familiar face, Detective Gumshoe, to the stand. Detective, if you would briefly describe this case to the court. Yes, sir. I'll explain with the guide map here.
Great.
To understand this case, it's important to grasp the layout of the studio, see?
It looks pretty simple enough, but let's go on ahead.
This here is the employee area. The actors did a run-through of this action scenes during the morning here. This is the main gate to the studios. The security lady that works at the studios was here at 1 p.m. on that day.
Hold on. May someone remind me if this was not said in the story thus far, please say no clue. When did the first rehearsal in the employee area take place?
I think it was in the morning.
Okay, so she was she was here at 1 p.m. after being in the employee area.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, cool.
Past the security station, there is a gate, see? Past that are the studios.
Okay.
And here it is, Studio 1. This is the scene of the murder, where the body was found.
Okay.
Now, on the day of the murder, October 15th, there were only 3 people here. The victim, Jack Hammer. The defendant, Will Powers. And a young woman, the production assistant.
The director wasn't there? It was just her?
All the production staff were in the employee area until noon. Then after lunch, the victim, Jack Hammer, went to Studio 1.
Okay.
Right after that, at 1 p.m., the security lady got to the guard station.
Okay.
Now, jump ahead to later that day, 5 p.m. The production staff came to Studio 1 to perform a rehearsal. Needless to say, the rehearsal was cancelled. The time of death was 2:30 p.m. The samurai spear found lodged in the victim's chest was a murder weapon. That's the case, in brief. Anyone like to hear that again?
Should I listen to the whole thing again? No, I think I got it. Do I need to listen to it again?
Only if you...
It's just a refresher thing.
Yeah, it's a refresher. There's no, like, extra details if you listen to it again.
Okay, cool. So I'll just skip it. Hammer with the $10. Thank you so much. You have my support. I've been having a lot of trouble with everything going on. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And thank you for the 10. Really do appreciate it. But I think I can remember that properly. Why is everyone wanting to talk to me? I'm in the middle of working! I'm going to bite all of your ankles!
So the murder weapon was a spear? How medieval.
Samurai spear was added to the court record. Okay, so this is the murder weapon.
Your Honor, this case is quite simple if you ask one question. And that question is, what does the security lady at the guard station see?
We can't trust her eyes. She's a boomer. She literally thinks someone in a costume that's not fit for them is literally Will Powers.
Understood. Let's call the security officer to the stand.
Great. I get to interrogate her.
Will the witness declare her name?
Oh my god. I heard you a handsome fellow.
Remember, she's a...
Sucker for
she
authority.
sucks off authority.
I'm afraid I'm a bit flustered. Ugh.
Your name, please.
Edgeworth, get behind me. I know you and I are on opposite sides, but get behind me. Oh, dearie, no need for you to be embarrassed. Just call me Grandma.
Hold on. Samurais aren't medieval. Do you realize when samurais were a thing?
Yeah, samurais would be in the same-ish time period. Would it be the same time period? Yeah, it would be happening at the same time as the Renaissance. Not the medieval. Before Black Plague. Age of Samurai.
Google is fucking up.
Google screwy? Okay, well then. Around the same time. It's around the same time. So, and I'm thinking medieval is not like the time frame. Medieval as in like, it's also used as a turn of phrase. When you think something is medieval, you think like, oh, very old, like instead of like, you know, an electric chair, you think of the guillotine. The guillotine is more medieval than an electric chair. So medieval in terms of that is what makes the context. So
yeah, again, from the late 12th century up until their abolition in the late 1870s.
1870s. They existed around 1400 to 1800. Yeah. So it's around the, but I think we're not saying medieval as in the time period. We're saying medieval as in the comparison to like modern age tech. It's like saying, oh, how did one send messages back then? Bird. Oh, that's pretty medieval. So yeah. But yeah, Edgeworth, get behind me. Seems Edgeworth has a bit of trouble getting his witnesses to say their names. Wendy Oldbag.
You just now?
I didn't realize. I thought Oldbag was just the descriptor, not her actual name. I'm such an asshole. Actor. Wendy Oldbag, dearie. So just call me Grandma, even though I was an old woman. I was not really. See, other children make fun of me, and you can't believe it. There was this boy captain the chest lady. He called me an old bag, and I just cried and cried.
Objection! I object to the witness's talkativeness. Objection sustained.
Whew.
The witness will refrain from rambling on the stand.
I was just getting to the good part, dearie.
Perhaps we can get to the testimony?
Whew.
Now, the witness was stationed at the main gate on the day of the murder, correct?
Yes, I was. Yes, I was.
And to get to the scene of the murder, someone would have to pass by you?
You know your stuff, dearie. The judge is not amused.
You may begin your testimony.
She sure is one hell of an old bag. Alright, let's hear it. Let's hear it. On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 p.m. Poor old Hammer and the rest has been doing a run-through since that morning. I had some errands to run that morning. Okay. Anyway, it was 1 when I got to the guard station. I was at the main gate from then until 5 p.m. Now, the murder happened at 2:30 p.m., right? Interesting to me, because a certain man walked right by me at 2 p.m. It was Powers, that man right there, and he was heading towards the studio. I think you're full of shit.
You saw the defendant then? Very well. Let's begin the cross-examination. Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor. I think you're full of shit. On the day of the murder, the station is poor old Hammer going to... I want to hear more information. A run-through. They were working out a scene between the Steel Samurai and the Evil Magistrate. They got the basics figured out by noon and were to use the afternoon for practice. Rehearsal was supposed to start at 5. That's why poor old Hammer went to Studio 1 in the afternoon. So Powers was in his dressing room sleeping when he was supposed to be practicing. Yeah, he said he was late. Talk about a laid-back hero.
If there was a run-through in the morning, why did you only get there after noon?
I had some errands. Hold it. What were you doing? What kind of errands? Oh, well, yeah, no. Answer the question. Actually, I was watching poor Hammer and Powers. Observing, you know. Observing? Weren't you supposed to be at the guard station? I mean, if she was a fan of the work, then... as long as she's doing her job, you can't necessarily be mad at her. She's with the entire group. Whippersnapper, I told you I locked the gate, didn't I? I did my job! I'm not sure your boss would see it that way. Anyway, I was watching Hammer's run-throughs always. Never missed one in all my years. Wow, I want to see a Steel Samurai run-through too. You could quit being the spirit medium and take up guard duty. Not a bad idea. Really? That was not taken seriously! Anyway, it was one when I got to the guard station. Okay, that's fine. I was at the main gate from then until 5 p.m. Information. So you were watching there the whole time. No breaks. Not even a second. Of course, I'm a professional, you know? Or are you criticizing how I do my job, whippersnapper? No, it was just after seeing you eating those donuts at the guard station yesterday. I can watch the gate and eat donuts at the same time! Snipper snapper! Snipper snapper? Snipper whapper? Oh, I'm even saying that wrong! Snipper whapper? Oldbag is losing it, Nick! Why didn't you raise it? Why didn't you raise an objection?
So, the witness was on duty through the afternoon, the whole time. Very well. What did you see?
Now, the murder happened at 2:30 p.m., right? Yeah? Interesting to me, because a certain man walked by me at 2 p.m. We're all whippersnappers and snipper whappers. 2? You're sure? Sure as spit! Well, who was the man? Really? You should try not to get so excited at your age. You might strain something.
Bruh.
Hot meat kettle!
Don't be stealing my lines.
Sorry. Now, don't get your skimmies all in a bunch. I'll tell you who it was. It was Powers. That man right there. And he was heading towards the studio. Are you certain of this? You saw Mr. Powers. I want to clarify. You claim you saw Mr. Powers. That's what I said. Go wax in your ears, Sonny. Nick, this is your chance. Yeah, time to pull out the secret weapon. I'll say it again. It was him.
Which is funny because literally the day before he said don't, pull out the fucking...
mask.
What? No. He literally said don't pull out your secret weapon against your enemies like the first thing. And what's the first thing we present?
Objection!
A picture that she's a lying scumbag. Let me get this straight, Oldbag. Miss Oldbag. You've been saying since yesterday that you saw Mr. Powers, correct? But you're talking about the man in this photo, aren't you?
Just a moment, Mr. Wright. Let me see that photo. What is this exactly?
None other than the Steel Samurai, defender of Neo-Old Tokyo. Miss Oldbag, is this the Mr. Powers that you saw? Of course. Doesn't your mama teach you any sense, Sonny? Anyone can plainly see that's Powers. You're a dumb fuck.
No, they can't.
Thank you, Edgeworth. Edgeworth, ever since I got into the scene, is your life becoming a little too hard?
Well, I mean, I wonder.
Edgeworth, come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Relax a little bit. True, Mr. Powers does play the role of the Steel Samurai. But that doesn't mean Mr. Powers is the Steel Samurai. Oh, I know that. I wasn't born yesterday.
No one in this court is accusing you of that, witness.
He's having trouble calling her Oldbag, apparently. I mean, again, hot meat kettle.
However, you do not have proof that the person in this photo is Mr. Will Powers, do you?
Nosy old man. Bitchy old lady? Of course I have proof. What?
Huh?
Even Edgeworth is surprised?
The prosecution would like to ask the witness.
Oh, Lord.
Please make known all the information in your possession ahead of time.
If only that were fucking true, apparently. How was I to know everyone would be so nosy? You should be ashamed, all of you. That is literally our job! Anyway, I showed that photo to the young detective. He told me this isn't any good as evidence, pal. He didn't even give it a second look. Well, yeah, because he's smart. He has two
Somebody's
brain cells.
getting another deduction in pay.
He has 2 brain cells. It doesn't count as evidence because it doesn't show anything. Wow, Oldbag has even left Edgeworth speechless. She's good.
Let's hear about your proof then.
Oh, I'm fucking unhinged. I get, apparently, according to the first time I played, in the first 2 chapters, I get extremely passionate. I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. That morning during the run-through of the action scene, I saw Powers trip and fall. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Now, look at that picture. You can see he's dragging his legs, see? Clear as... But, bitch, do you not see the length those feet do? Do you see the length of... Where is his toesies? Where are his ankles? Where is the length of his feet? Hello, good morning. That's all I knew was Powers. Happy? She's a dumb fuck. I love it.
So he sprained his ankle? Very well. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness while I eat some more nuts.
She's gotta be hiding something. I'll press her until she squeals. Alright, what we got? What things can I clear up? I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. That morning during the run-through of the action scene, I saw Powers trip and fall. Trip and fall. Yes, and to think he's supposed to be the steel set. Alright, what? Okay, it's like action actors do that all the fucking time. It's not like the robots that have actual, like, algorithms to try and figure out how not to fall. So Powers sprained his ankle. I have to make it better for him, of course.
You hope to make it better?
I kissed you where it... Ew.
Let's just skip over that part, shall we?
Where was the assistant then? Oh, her? She was cleaning the backdrop, I think. She didn't know about Powers' ankle. That's actually suspicious. Where was she? Where was she?
Which should tell you something.
That tells me a lot, actually.
That means she wasn't there.
Yeah, that's... No. No. Hold on. No, you need bulky arms in order to kind of... No, she needs to be bulky in order to even be fit the top part. The bottom part I can see, but the top part... The top part wouldn't match her. She wouldn't be the Steel Samurai. Yeah, you need to be heavily bulked just to go to that. And she's a skinny fucking stick. She's a stick. Okay, moving on. He broke one of the props. This is a big... Oh. Do you mean the murder weapon? He broke a prop. Sure did. His own samurai spear. Samurai spear. Murder weapon. Luckily, I was there with my duct tape to fix it. This strikes me as a significant detail. I'd better write this down in the court record. Samurai spear has been updated. Perfect. So the break in the shaft has been mended with duct tape. Cool. Apparently, he's sprained his ankle pretty bad. Okay, we've already corroborated that.
I think we've heard enough.
I'm not done cross-examining her, fuck!
Haven't we, Your Honor? Well, there is one thing that bothers me. Which is? Where is this Steel Samurai costume now?
Yeah, where is it?
Actually, well, we couldn't find it.
Really now?
Yeah, just making sure we got everything right. We're looking, though. Anyway, that's not important.
Actually, it very much is.
The witness did see the steel samurai, yes? And it is clear that the person in the steel samurai suit was Mr. Will Powers.
I'm gonna bonk you with a hammer, my dude, if you really think that's the case.
I suppose that's right.
Are you sure you're sure, Your Honor? No! No! Fuck both of you! Hold it right there! We keep talking possibilities, but we have to agree that this photo shows the steel samurai. Nowhere in this photo can we see Mr. Will Powers.
The defense has a point. So I'm still eating nuts. Honey roasted.
I also
want...
that way you can eat nuts. I was trying to help.
Me, I got it. I also wonder if someone else knocked... I also wonder if someone else not... Okay, sorry. Couldn't read that for a second. I also wonder if someone else not caught on camera could have killed Mr. Hammer. We have to consider that possibility also. Then allow me to remove that doubt from your mind, Your Honor. Will the witness continue her testimony, please?
Then why did you stop her midway through, fuckwit? No need to ask twice. It's a separate testimony. Okay, cool. The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m., true? Only one person I saw through the studio before then was Will Powers. We already established you're a fucking liar. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them. What about the grate? You could easily just... But a kid doing the act, though?
So if no one else went to the studio, then it would have to be this steel samurai who did it.
No, because in the back of our photo, we have photo number 2. Someone erased photo number 1.
Miss Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Time for Hammer. Yep. My person I saw... Are you absolutely sure? Oh, quack, Sonny. Nobody suspicious looking pass by at all. Nobody suspicious looking. Right. No one else went. What about before you got to the guard station? You mean before 1 p.m.? Why, everyone was in the employee area before then. And I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Not to mention, if they had, I would have seen them. I'm pressing. Oh, sorry. I'm trying to get more information. Are you sure?
Objection!
The witness has answered the question.
Anyone going to the studio had to pass by the... Oh, that's Edward. Sorry, I thought it was Oldbag. My bad.
Anyone going into the studio had to pass by the witness.
That's right, Sonny. You let him have it, edgy boy. Edgy boy? Old Windbag sure has balls, or... Well, you know what I mean. Old Windbags have a way of skipping over important details after all. And for that matter, entirely forgetting them. How convenient. Something for you to look forward to, perhaps? The time before Hammer's death... Okay, so... Let me take a look at this real quick. I'm not trying to present anything right now, but it's like... This, number 2. That's the thing. That's bugging the shit out of me. Okay, yep, no one else went in there. They had, I would have seen them. I want to present this again, but I don't know if he's actually going to call out number 2. I want to present this again. And I'm assuming the bar right up there in the top right is my health or something like that? Credibility or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm Phoenix, swing for the fences.
Objection!
Yeah, it's not like if you fuck up once, that's it. You have multiple tries.
Hold on. Look at this photograph one more time.
Also, the way you can tell if you did things right is when the music stops.
Okay. This photo was taken by the camera at the gate for the studios, correct? Yes, sir, Sonny. So, whenever anyone passes by here, it automatically takes a picture. And here I thought you didn't know your head from a hole in the ground. Right. Anyway, it's also true that the computer in the storage station records all security cam data. Oh, you know, if you wanted to work at the studio, we may have an opening. That very computer printed out this photo. Note that on the back of the photo are printed the words, October 15th, 2 p.m., photo number 2. Even I know that means it was taken at 2 p.m. on October the 5th. Really, Sonny? Actually, I knew that too. The issue here is the bit at the end where it says photo number 2. Photo number 2? The computer only held the data for one photo on that day. Don't you think that's odd? Shouldn't this photo be number 1 if it was really the only photo?
Order! Yeah, I have 2 chips and a Coke.
I'll have a pan-fried noodle.
Please tell the court what you mean by this, Mr. Wright.
Actually, that's what I want to ask the witness. This evidence shows that not 1, but 2 people went to the studio that day. Yet, there is only data for one of the photos. Who could have erased the data for the other photo? Only someone with access, the security lady herself. Me? You watch your mouth, whippersnapper! The only person I saw that day was Will Powers! But the camera on the gate fired twice. It means 2 people went by. Well, yes, that's what it would seem to mean.
Can the witness explain to this court?
I don't understand these newfangled computer things. Edgy boy, help!
Huh? Believe me, I want to, but I don't know what this means either.
Some help you are. You're a whippersnapper too. Are we gonna see a shift in tone? You old crackety bitch? Whippersnapper?
Something the matter, Miss Oldbag?
That's right! I just remembered some- Oh, how fucking convenient! Let me guess. Sorry! I'm sorry. I'm an asshole. Go for it.
Let me guess. Someone else passed by that gate? Someone other than the Steel Samurai?
That you should have disclosed earlier? Well, yes, I suppose you could put it that way. I'm just... This old bitch. I'm not sighing for him. I'm sighing for myself. I'm sighing because I'm frustrated at this bitch.
Okay, so yeah, that seems to be third case syndrome.
Okay.
I see. Your testimony, please.
Alright. Who is this other kid? Is it a kid? Because you said whippersnapper? Every day after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do. I go through the photos recorded on the security computer and check them. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see. Come to think of it, now I remember throwing out one photo that day. What photo?
Miss Oldbag, this is the first I've heard of this.
Well, of course, Sonny. I've only just remembered it. Right. This... Go ahead. Go, please.
Anyway, Mr. Wright, please begin the cross-examination.
Well, I'd say this was a turn for the unexpected, but I kind of expected this. Alright. So. Every day I have one important job to do, I go through and check them. I throw out any suspicious that aren't... What constitutes as not suspicious? How exactly did you determine what isn't suspicious looking? Oh, you can tell by looking at their faces, for the most part. For the most part? This is a murder trial, Miss Oldbag! Well, I didn't touch that suspicious looking Will Powers photo, did I? I think she's missing the point. How to think of it. Now I remember throwing out one photo. What was on the photo? Hello, good morning. Well, who the heck was in that photo you erased? A fanboy. Fanboy? Steel Samurai's fanboys. Real freaks, if you ask me. They get information about the rehearsals from gosh knows where. They're always hanging about. One was there that day.
Objection!
Wait a second. Did you just say no one else could get in? I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Those were your words. Well, if you must know, there's a drain that goes to the employee area. Okay, so it is a kid. It's a grate has been loose for a while. It leads outside, and well, there's where they come in. They come in through the drain? I told you they were freaks. Oh, and they're kids. Children. Whippersnappers. Kids? So, on the photo that you erased, it was a boy. Probably 2nd or 3rd grade. What?
Order! Let me get this straight. You saw 2 people pass by that gate on their way to the studios that day? One was a steel samurai dragging his leg. The other was a boy who looked to be in about 2nd or 3rd grade?
Oh, yes. Well, we see this type of his there every day. Can't stop him. Can't catch him.
A boy in 2nd or 3rd grade? I assume it would be hard, if not impossible, for a young boy to wield a samurai spear.
But that's another fucking witness, as we can't see the testimony of whether or not Will Powers was in the suit.
Impossible, I think. It's quite heavy.
Right, like I said, I didn't pay him much mind. That's why I erased the data. Nick, what's going on? I mean, the boy was there. That makes him a suspect. Yeah, and they're already trying to unsuspect him.
This court will take a 5-minute recess. I want the defense and the prosecution to consider this new information. And no forgetting vital information this time. Looks at Oldbag.
In my memory issues, that's going to be an issue. But moving on. October 18th, 11:08 a.m. District Court to Defendant Lobby number 3. Were we just in Lobby 4? Whatever. Mr. Powers?
Yes?
Tell me straight. Were you really in your dressing room? You didn't go to the studio?
I didn't go to the studio. I was sleeping, honest.
So who was the steel samurai in the security photo?
How should I know? The steel samurai costume was off in the corner of the dressing room. Anyone could have walked in and taken it, really.
What? You should take better care of that stuff!
I couldn't imagine anyone would want to steal a steel samurai costume. So, where does this leave me?
It doesn't look good. You're the only likely suspect right now. But see, there's a woman in the back of my mind that's literally screaming and like pointing fingers at the photo, knowing how big those fucking leggies are. Nick! What are we gonna do? First, we play for more time. We'll start targeting someone else that could conceivably have done this. Right! And it'll take them so long to shoot us down that we can get another day! Right, but if we pick the wrong person, we might lose on the spot.
You don't sound very optimistic.
I'm not optimistic at all, actually. Hey, Nick! It's time. Okay, let's go.
Damn, 5 minutes go by quick. What does that mean? Please don't sigh like that.
Alright, here we go.
Court will now reconvene for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. Mr. Edgeworth, will you present the prosecution's thought on this matter? The prosecution's thoughts are simple. Nothing has changed. The other person who went to the studios was a boy of roughly 10 years of age. The photo we do have may not be hard evidence, but there is still no one else who could have committed But there is still no one else that could have committed this crime.
No, there is one. Penny. Like, if we're literally thinking bodies, Penny's the only body that could potentially be, but, like, that's only just to buy us some time, unfortunately. That would be just to buy us time.
I call for a verdict of guilty for the defendant, Mr. Will Powers. Very well. Mr. Wright, your thoughts?
The defense disagrees with the prosecution's claim. There is another person who could have committed this crime.
Order. Interesting. Let us hear who you have in mind. However, be aware that this court does not look kindly on accusing the innocent.
Like you all are doing right now? Sorry, I said too much. Moving on.
If you accuse someone who is obviously innocent, you will be penalized.
Right, great. As if the stakes weren't high enough.
So, who was this person other than Mr. Power that could have committed murder?
The assistant girl. Because there's literally no account of her. So I'm thinking it has to be her. It was the assistant. The Steel Samurai costume was in his dressing room. She stole it, and in doing so, she became the Steel Samurai.
So you're saying the Steel Samurai in the picture is really the assistant?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Objection!
No alibi, fucker.
If you're serious, you've got guts, Mr. Wright. Remember the photo?
Yes, I do.
Wasn't the Steel Samurai a little... oh, yeah. Little lame? He was dragging his foot.
But his feet don't even like the length of the fucking pants. Uh-oh, bad feeling time.
Remember the testimony concerning Powers' injury?
It doesn't matter the injury. His outfit doesn't even fit him. Powers and poor Hammer are in the run-through. Oh, and me. What about the assistant? Oh, she was cleaning up backdrops, I think. She didn't know about Powers' ankle.
The assistant knew nothing of Mr. Powers' injury.
But that doesn't mean she has to be pretending to be a limp. She could just be trying not to step on her own feet.
She could look the Steel Samurai look with that costume. But she couldn't walk the Steel Samurai walk. She wouldn't have limped.
That kind of takes the legs out from under that case. No! The legs!
Mr. Wright, I'm afraid I have to penalize you, as I warned.
Are you fucking kidding? Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. Nobody knows my sorrow. This fight isn't over yet. If you would, Your Honor, one more chance, please.
Yeah, we would have went to this.
If it can't be the school grade boy, because the boy wouldn't have known, it would have to be the security lady. Because I'm sorry, that's so stupid. Because even the security lady would be like, it wasn't me, and there'd be no way to prove that it would be her, potentially. It would be the only one without the fucking alibi. I'd literally
well,
be
it's just that, again, if she wasn't there, she wouldn't have known that he sprained his ankle, otherwise would have had a limp.
But she could have been walking to not trip her on her own feet. That literally could have been the excuse.
But that's not a walk, that's a limp. It literally says in the evidence he was dragging his leg, meaning a limp.
Who was the security lady? Wendy Oldbag. Who? The Steel Samurai is dragging his leg in the picture. That means whoever was in the suit knew about the morning's injury. Maybe because they had been watching the action scene run through. There was only one person other than Powers and Hammer who knew about the injury. The security lady, Oldbag. What? Whippersnapper!
Order! Order! Is this true, Oldbag?
Oldbag? That's Mrs. Oldbag to you! Mrs. Oldbag was standing guard alone at the main gate.
Miss,
Whatever. She was by herself. In other words, she has no alibi. She could have briefly left her post to steal the samurai costume. Then slipped into Studio 1, the scene of the murder.
why would she go through the trouble of wearing the Steel Samurai costume?
Simple, Your Honor. She knew the camera at the gate would take her picture. If she was in his costume, she could point the finger at Mr. Powers.
I see. Excellent deductive reasoning, Mr. Wright.
Oh yeah, right there. Sherlock Holmes 2, baby. No, I'm sorry. My fucking answer was better. Like literally, she could have been tripping off her own goddamn feet and the picture got into the limp.
But that's not the answer.
Ah!
Deal with it.
That's odd. Isn't this the part where Edgeworth pounces? Doesn't he usually jump up with an objection with some new damning evidence?
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, does the prosecution have an opinion on this matter?
You just want Oldbag to get off your fucking stand.
The prosecution has no meaningful objections at this time.
What? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, so you all think I did it? Isn't that it? edgy boy, don't just sit there, do something! What's my move? Maybe now's my chance to take this hole away. I'm pressing this bitch. The very same reasoning that makes Mr. Powers a suspect in this case can be used to cast doubt on Miss Oldbag's actions that day. But why would I do something so horrible to poor Hammer? You forget that Mr. Powers lacks a clear motive too.
Indeed.
That did it. Now the windbag is one of the suspects. No hard feelings. I hope. Wait just a minute! What about the other person who went to the studio? The boy! The ones whose photos I erased!
In like grade school, as you said. Second or third grade, was it?
That doesn't matter! When I was at that age, I could pin my old man in 10 seconds, tops! That's kind of odd.
Here's lost, Mr. Wright.
That boy is not the killer. What? How could you be so sure? Oh, it's because... Is it be nice to kids and mean to your elders day, whippersnapper?
Can you be that every day?
Right? I have proof. Proof? Indeed. Sorry.
Now let's see this proof, Mr. Wright. You have proof that shows the boy could not have committed this murder?
It's heavy as shit. I said the weapon, it's heavy as shit. The boy can't lift it.
Take that!
Your Honor.
Either that or the card key.
Oh. The samurai weapon, the murder weapon was the samurai spear. That very spear is shown here in this photo. How could the boy have taken the spear? It's impossible.
I see. Well, would the witness care to comment on this?
The windbag. Speechless. This has got to be a first.
Very well. This court will suspend proceedings on the current trial for today. Miss Edwards, please find out more about your witness, Miss Wendy. What was her name? Something Oldbag, Your Honor. And the prosecution will look further into this Oldbag before we continue. That is all. This court is adjourned.
Okay, so we had another day. Wait a second! I'm not going to sit here while you run off barking up the wrong tree! Me! I'm talking! What? Oh, great. Stop the presses! The windbag wants to talk!
Miss Oldbag, what is this all about? Have you omitted something from your testimony?
Actually, if you must know, there's something I was told not to talk about. Not talk about?
By whom?
Huh? You mean it wasn't Edgeworth who told her not to talk?
Well, testify, sister.
Lamau? Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. There were some other people at the studios on the day of the murder. They said they had nothing to do with it, see? So they told me to just pretend they hadn't been at the studios that day. But if you're going to go accusing me, I'm not letting them get away scot-free! Okay.
Miss Oldbag, this is crucial information. Why did you keep this from the court until now?
Ain't you been listening? They told me to shut my trap, and I always do what I'm told. No, this isn't a bad dream, Your Honor. Witness the power of the Oldbag.
Mr. Wright, your cross-examination.
Again, my explicitive bullshit right there. One key. Hold on. Let me press this first part. So, you were told not to talk? That's right, by the studio and TV bigwigs, no less.
Why didn't I hear about this?
Don't be too hard on yourself, Sonny. We were all in on it. There were some other... Who? Who were these people? Well, the director and the producer, for starters. The director?
We should have known something was fishy. How could they have done a run-through of their action scene without a director?
That's what I was saying. If they like no director, like that's what I was like. Where the fuck were they?
Of course.
Yes. Well, I was surprised no one asked about it. So where were these people? The director was in the employee area all morning with a run-through. He joined the producer around lunchtime, and they had a meeting after that.
Where?
Oh, in the Studio 2 trailer. Studio 2? There was a studio... Yes, there was, Phoenix! Come on! Well, if you look at the guide map, there it is. You go through the gate and all the way to the left. The path where the monkey's head... The path where the monkey's head was falling over.
Well, Mr. Wright, would you like to continue the cross-examination?
I think I've already asked all my questions, but...
Did you press the second and fifth statement?
No. Let's continue. They said they had nothing to do with it, see? The one... I already pressed this. They said they had nothing to do... Of course. So they had me present of the studio today, but if... So they told you and you... Them? Who are these people? Well, the director and the producer, for starters. Yep, we've already... Yes, we've already... Yep. Yes. So it's the same fucking thing. Yep.
We're good.
Okay. Your Honor, we have learned there were others of the global studios on the day in question. The director and the producer and some bigwigs were all present. Yet, as we stand here, they have not been questioned. I hold that it is impossible to declare a verdict on the defendant, Mr. Powers.
This court acknowledges the defense's point. The prosecution will gather more information about the witness, Ms. Oldbag, and more information about these other people we have just been told of.
Oh no, Edgeworth, you're gonna have to stop being a sulky bitch and actually do your job. Boo-hoo.
I understand, Your Honor. This ends the day's proceedings of the trial of Mr. Will Powers. That is all. This court is adjourned. For reals this time.
Jesus Christ. October 18th, 1:04 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3.
Sorry, I just realized it's 7 o'clock and that means I got an update from you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. I was right to ask you to defend me.
Aw, really? It's nothing! or should I...
We'll be going down to the studios to do some more investigating. We have to find out more about this director and producer. They'll be turning up in the next trial as witnesses for certain. So now's my chance to get material for the cross-examination.
So, Nick, have we figured out just who it was in the steel samurai costume? Can it really have been the old windbag?
What do you think, Mr. Powers? I don't think it was her, really.
Neither do I, Nick.
Yeah, I know! Look, I was just buying some time back there! Someone had to be the bad guy for a bit to take the pressure off of Mr. Powers.
Poor old windbag. I feel kind of sorry for...
I don't! Well, she wasn't winning any points in there, with or without my accusation. Okay, let's get down to the studios.
Right! We'll be back to visit you soon.
Well, hold on! We can straight up ask him about his relationship with the director and the producer. Hello, good morning! Thanks, guys.
We can literally ask about his relationship. Hello, good morning. Okay.